Hello, YouTube fam. How y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. Fam, you know what? With the economy being the way it is, we need places that we can shop, with cheaper prices and things like that, like thrift stores, Salvation Armies, and Goodwills. Goodwill especially. But no, we can't shop at Goodwill, fam, because they on bullshit. They raised their prices soon as the shit hit. Like, I guess because they like the tariffs about to hit, so we need to raise our prices. Fuck, are you getting your shit for free? I'm confused. You're the only place that I know that get their shit for free. You get it for free. One, you're non for profit. Two, three, you do not wash the items, and four, the stuff is randomly priced. You got three of the same damn items with different prices. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to understand something here, man. I sit back and figure out, to myself, I said the economy is going the way of the dinosaur right about now. And, we need these stores like that to really, try to get a leg up. I understand they got to raise their prices too to compete in these days and these times. But damn, it just seems like you price shirts at like $5 and $6 pants at $20 Why in the hell would I go to Goodwill and get the very same thing that I could get brand new at the damn store at the same damn price? Come on, I seen a damn pair of pants for $35. What are we doing here? I see if they were new with tags, but see, I'm looking at the fact that this stuff, y'all don't wash. This is why I thought all of this stuff had that weird smell, because they were washing them. I had a view with them a long time ago. And the smell is just from the stuff being stuck together. And you know how sometimes unclean stuff and clean stuff are put together. Most people don't wash this shit before they donate it. They just donate it. So you stuck there, and I hate when people dish Goodwill and say, man, you know what, they trying to sell us that shit for like all these prices. But I'm sitting here thinking, man, but when it was cheap, it wasn't shit. And a lot of people are reselling. And that's really hurting them as well. Because they looking at the fact that, hell, you selling this stuff for this price, that price, and this price. Hell, we can get that very same damn thing if we cut the middleman out. And honestly, this is what it seems like they're doing now. They've been selling on eBay since like 12? They sell video game consoles and accessories and every damn thing. I done bought a ton of stuff off of them. I done bought Sega CDs, Sega Genesis, all type of paraphernalia, man. But I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people don't tell you. When you sitting back thinking about this ish, you really need to look at it from all perspectives. When I look at the stuff that I do, I look at it not just from a buyer's point, but I look at it from the corporation standpoint too. You got a lot of people, when you look at Harry Tornado and all of them, and they send Goodwill, prices have went up, and you looking at that, and you thinking to yourself, you selling the stuff that you buy from them. And you bragging about sometimes how much you sell it for. Sometimes people get a little carried away. I'm not saying that he does that. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying people out there do that. And you wonder why these places are raising their prices. Man, for regular people who just go there to shop for their kids and, go there and get 2 or 3 outfits, I'm sitting there looking at somebody say, you know what, Goodwill ought to be ashamed of themselves. Think about it. If a homeless person needed a blanket, they won't give them a blanket. If a family just, house caught on fire, they won't get them a couple outfits apiece. Okay, go to Walmart, go to Target. Neither one of those corporations do that. Why? Because it's not in their best interest. You can't save the damn world, and they know that. And the thing is that I look at with Goodwill, either good or bad, because, I got to play devil's advocate, because I got to play both sides, because I see they point on why they raising the prices, but, it's just the timing that just makes everything look effed up, man, because you sitting here thinking, my rent done went up, my mortgage, if you, got a house, went up, your utilities went up, your food prices went up, your gas in your car done went up, your electricity for charging your Tesla or whatever type of car you got done went up, because charging stations start going up in prices now. And certain cars take forever to charge. They are creating this thing called fast charging. It helps charge the car. If it takes your car like 3 hours to charge or 6 hours, your car could be charged in less than an hour. But they're developing this technology overseas, and they don't want to bring that here. If you bring it here, it'll destroy the whole situation that they're trying to create with these electric cars and these charging stations. You won't need, to be sitting there for 3 or 4 hours. The only reason why I got off topic, man, because again, all of this stuff affects us, man. When you sit back and think, the typical American is not rich or middle class. Majority of Americans are considered working poor. And looking at that, you saying to yourself, you say, man, where people shop who don't got a lot of money? Thrift stores, Goodwills, and Salvation Armies. But, all these secondhand stores have raised their prices to the point where it's not feasible really to go to them. You sitting here thinking to yourself, you'd be like, man, these Nike pants would have made a lot of sense if I got them at a, earlier time or something, like if they were like $5 to $7, these pants are like $25 damn dollars, and you sitting there, $25 for a pair of pants, bro, come on. $30 for a pair of pants, come on. We doing way too much. Hell, people at flea markets and the garage sales and yard sales, they don't raise their damn prices too. Dude, people are going with the economy right now. Nobody ain't trying to get their shit away for less than $5 damn dollars. People been complaining about the thrift stores, the yard sales, the garage sales, talking about all the prices went up. But guess what? Everybody's bills went up. And guess what? They're not just giving stuff away no more. People want you to give them 20 Nintendo Switch games for a nickel. Man, come on. You're not getting that anymore. Most people, if they're selling their stuff for cheap prices, it's just because they don't the hassle of selling their stuff online. Some people actually know what they got, but they just don't want to sell it because selling is not always what you think it is. Sometimes that stuff sits for months and sometimes years. It don't sell right away always with eBay. If you don't put up enough of stuff, dude, it just don't work out for you. I'm just sitting here thinking about why would I want to do business with Goodwill? Because you know what? Again, sometimes they have stuff. I remember they used to sell video games back in the day. They still sell them. But you know what? Some of them got, Goodwill locations where they actually just do video games. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you got to look at all that. Man, it's crazy as hell. They're thinking just like everybody else's, man. And I think that's a good thing. But, man, it's going to hurt the small fries, man. And, a lot of resellers are saying, man, because I've been looking at YouTube and watching them complain and complain and complain. Dude, you part of the problem. You're selling the stuff for a profit, and guess what? They're not really making anything. I understand they get the clothes for free and all that stuff, but you got to think about it. They still got to pay rent on the building. They still got to pay the employees. Goodwill have programs to help, people get job placements and get back into the workforce. They got programs like that. So you sitting here thinking, you still got to pay for all this stuff. So yeah, we got to raise those prices. It's the same way Dollar Tree had to raise their prices. The thing that I'm trying to tell you in this video, I can see it from both sides, from the customer standpoint and the corporation standpoint. Think about it. You work at Goodwill. You want that cost of living raise. You want that workable wage that's going to pay your utilities and bills and, your rent and all of that stuff. So think about it. The prices the wages of some of these Goodwills, they make really good money. They're hourly. Some of these hourly employees, bro, it's just like, what do you expect? They're going to pass the cost on to us. And that's what's been happening. Everybody want equality and, to be included in the conversation about, who should make what and this and that, but nobody want to pay those prices. Think about it. A Big Mac back in the day meal was $2.49. Now a Big Mac meal is like $10 or $12, right? So you sitting here thinking to yourself, what did I miss? You didn't miss anything. What you didn't see in the situation was they're going to pass those cost of living increases to the consumer. And each year those raises happen and they keep passing them to the consumer. And this is what's happening. The buck is being passed to the next person. And we are the next person. Man. Shit. But consistency out here, man, is lacking. You just got to hit up a lot of places, man, just to see if you can find what it is that you're looking for, man. But till later, fam, thank you for watching. Peace out.